Hi crafty friends, this is Amanda. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Oakland County, Michigan. I'm an A7 size girl in an A2 size world. Today I'm going to make a quick and easy 5x7 card using the Stars at Night embossing folder and dies, and the Joy and Peace here from Devine. This is going to be a very quick and easy card. This is a sketch that I like to go to when I want to use the embossing folder, and it's a regular size embossing folder for a 5x7 card. This is my go-to sketch, but I will do this one again. I have a few sketches that I want to do with this that I could show you a little bit of a different way to do it. Okay, so we're going to use this ledge here at our trimmer. I've already scored it. I'm going to push my paper in to the ledge, bring it down, the top down, pushing it over, lining everything up, and creasing it that way so I have a perfect edge every time. I'm going to take a piece of Very Vanilla, cutting the first piece at 4 3/4 and the second piece at 4 3/4. I will need a third piece for the inside as well. Okay, I'm going to cut this one at 6 3/4, so I'm just going to take 1 3/4 off of here. And this piece, I am going to take it to about number 3, 3 inches, and I'm going to just rotate it a little bit. I don't want it from this point down. I just want it so about the 3. This is the 3. Just rotate it a little bit to give it a little bit of interest. And here we go. We have this, and it will go right here, just like that. Okay? All right. We'll take this leftover piece and we will spray and emboss it in the Devine. And for 3D embossing folders, remember you need just 1 plate, and we'll run that through. Remember, with embossing folders, you always do the curved edge or the fold in first, and then you won't ruin your embossing folder, because it will happen if you do it any other way. Take the large piece that is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Remember, all of my measurements are on my Facebook page, and we will emboss this, leaving about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom, because this does not go all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to have just about 1 inch or so at the top, and I will run this run through one more time with the embossing folder. Again, remembering that the fold of the embossing folder goes in first. There we go. All right. Well, good thing that this leftover piece right here, I've been using this a lot, and I had some leftover pieces of paper that have been embossed into my paper, but that's okay because I'm going to cover this up. All right, so this piece here that is the scrap, we're going to cut this with the large die. And I'm going to take these 3 stars, and I'm going to line them up. Now I'm going to take a little bit of time to do that, because I want this is the focal point of my card, this center die. So I'm going to want to make sure that it's right on and perfect. So just take a few extra seconds and make sure you line it up really well. And then we will run that through the embossing folder like normal, or I'm sorry, the embossing machine, with the sandwich that needs it. All right, Whoops. That's funny. All right. So I now have a really pretty star that doesn't need to be embossed again. However, I am going to emboss it again. And that just gives it a little bit more height. And I will line it up just like that. It's going to hold in there. When I'm moving my fingers, you can feel it catch in there. And we'll run it through just to give it the extra little height. And I'm only doing the one of these because I just mainly want the large star. We'll keep all those for next time. All right. Now we have one super embossed star. I mean, it's crazy. The amount of detail is just amazing and it's beautiful. Next, we are going to take this die that has its own little etching and prettiness in it, and we're going to die cut that in some gold. And then you will get, oh, I thought I had it out, but that's okay. We will take a little piece of gold. I'm very frugal with my gold. So we'll take this and we'll emboss it. Or, I'm sorry, not emboss it, die cut it. There we go. I like the added detail of the gold on this star. You can choose to leave it out. If you just like this star right here, you can. I like it with the extra added touch of this gold. Let me show you how it looks. I have some almost new plates here, so that's always fun. Whoops. If I can get this in. There we go. Got it curved a little bit. And we'll run it through. Okay. See, just this, or we'll step it up like that. I think it's just a little bit extra. Let's put these away. We're going to take 2 seconds and put them away before we lose them. There we go. All right. And we'll add a little adhesive to the back of this gold piece and stick it in the middle. There we go. Well, if it was in the middle, it would be better, but there we go. It's really not that hard, I promise. It's just my fingers are not working today. Here we go. Beautiful star. I think the gold really makes it. All right, so we have our piece here. We have our emboss piece and our other piece. Just keep throwing them everywhere. All right, so we have these two pieces here. We will add this piece, the top piece. It will line up right at the top and right on the sides and right perfectly everywhere. Add some glue. I'm going to make sure that I get the glue on the edges and the points. And it will line up perfectly because we cut it at the same width. There we go. Now mine is really creased because it's still a little damp. Not creased, I'm sorry, bendy, because it's still a little damp, but don't worry about it, it'll be perfect. In this suite, there's this gorgeous ribbon. What do you think? It is Night of Navy and gold. You want to make sure you pick that up. And we'll just run it around here. the reason that we don't want it all the way around and go all the way around the back and the front is just to save some extra ribbon. Here we go. Ooh, look at all those silvers, or gold, sorry. There we go. Beautiful, simple sketch. All right, we can add this as soon as we're done stamping. We're gonna put the star right here. All right, beautiful. Like I said, easy peasy sketch, you guys. Really easy card, really easy to reproduce. And that's important. If this could be a really great Christmas card to send out. When I make Christmas cards, I do about 10 of each design, and then I don't get bored. And I'm making the same ones, and 10 is not that hard, especially something like this. I thought because we had some gold, we'll just emboss it in gold. I think that is the best thing for this card. So to emboss, we're going to need a piece of scrap paper to catch our embossing buddy, and we'll just add a little powder here. You can always do this before you do the ribbon, but remember when you're stamping it to take into account for the ribbon. So that's why I put the ribbon down first, but you can do whatever floats your boat. I need some Versamark. Versamark is a very sticky ink. It's called watermark ink. It'll stay wet the longest of all of the inks. We're just going to ink that up. And I'm going to follow this angle and stamp it down. And I'll take my embossing powder and sprinkle it on. This is red rubber, so you're going to get a great impression of your letters. All right, and then we'll collect it here and put it back in the pot. So really, don't be stingy with your embossing powder, because you'll just remove the excess and put it back in the pot. Then we're going to take a few seconds and do any cleanup as necessary with a fan brush, or an angled brush works really well too. You don't want any stray powder melting. And it not being really nice. You don't want to tap off too heavy, because, well, then you don't have any embossing powder left on your image. I suggest you practice your embossing before you do it for your first time. Heat gun on. Let it get warm. I always put it to my hand until I cannot stand it anymore, and then I know it's super hot. And then I'll run it over my embossing powder to heat it up and let it melt. When it starts to change, scooch it along. I don't do mine as a hair dryer like this. I keep it steady so I can watch, and I make sure all of it is completely melted, but not over melted. Excellent. All right. Now we have our star here, and depending, we can put our star where needed for the letters. All right. Add some dimensionals, which I have right here. This is a great set. Love the embossing, love the detail. And then the Night Devine is just a gorgeous. Let's put one down here so it stays flat. Remember, when you run these through the mail, you really do have to think about how it'll appear when they get there. Then we'll take some Stampin' Seal Plus and run it along the edges. And then I'm going to add a little bit of glue as well. That's going to give me some wiggle room so I can make sure that this is even all the way around on my card base. I can tell you that after doing this for 10 years, you get pretty cocky about making sure, you know, about having this even, and when you get cocky, you get a little cockeyed. So take a little bit of time lining it up. I always line up this edge, and this edge, knowing that I cut it so that it's even. There we go. Then I have a almost perfect card. Just needs a little bit more stick right there. There we go. Really easy, don't you think? And I think it's pretty and elegant. Let's see if you can see all the things. All right, now we have some of these gold pieces to add to it. Let me just get this one and we can add this. Just add it. Little dot there will do. My sticky came off of this one, so we'll add it right there. And then there's two sizes, so that's always fun. A little trio of stars maybe. There we go. Oops, sorry, off screen. All right, if you wanted to, you could add some Wink of Stella to the star rays. Easy peasy, very quick card. I did all of this in under 10 minutes, and I think that you can do it too. And easy to replicate. So just, you know, go to town and do some embossing. All right, friends, I had a great time. Thanks so much. We'll revisit the stars and do a different sketch with this. I have about 3 different ones that I want to show you. So we're going to be using this set a lot. Thanks so much. You guys have a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye-bye.